as we have discussed, that is the Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. So we want to find the relation between the sales and expenditure. So this is the sales in lakhs given to you. This is the expenditure or the advertising expenditure in thousands. So now I want to find the correlation between the two. So for that I have to write the formula. So the formula is like this. Or we can write in the word option. So the R is equal to small r. So the small r is equal to n summation xy. So n summation xy minus summation x summation y. Minus summation x summation y whole divided by that is n summation xy minus summation x summation y divided by under root of under root of summation x square minus summation x whole square. Fine. And then into under root of n summation so that is under root of n summation x square minus summation x ka whole square and into under root of n summation y square minus summation y whole square. Fine. So that becomes the formula for the Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. So that is n sigma xy minus sigma x into sigma y in divided by under root of n sigma x square minus sigma x whole square, then into under root of sigma y square n into sigma y square minus sigma y whole square. So this becomes the formula for the Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. So we will calculate this from the data. We calculate one by one each thing, and we can put in the formula to calculate the value of R. So you have to remember this formula. So n sigma xy minus sigma x sigma y whole divided by the under root of n sigma x square minus sigma x whole square and into under root of n sigma y square minus sigma y. So now comes to the data, and we are calculating each and everything from the data and put in the formula to calculate the coefficient of correlation. And the coefficient of correlation always lies between -1 to +. Fine. So let's come to the Excel sheet. So here the first case, the first thing we have to calculate the n sigma xy. So what is n over here? So in our case, n is equal to, what is the value of n? So it is 1, 2, 3,
10.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there will be 10 in numbers. So it is like the both is a 10. It is not like the sales is in 10 and expenditure is in 20. So the n is same, that is 10. Then the first thing, let's take this as x. We will take any variable as x, any variable as y. So let's suppose the first variable is x and this is your y. Fine. So first thing is you have to calculate n summation xy. So for that you have to calculate xy. So first calculate xy, which will be equal to this multiply by this. So that becomes your xy. Now individual xy you have to calculate. So this is your individual xy. Then you want n summation xy. So summation xy is the sum of this. You will get your 38142 as the value of summation xy. Now next is you want to calculate sigma x and sigma y. So this is summation xy already calculated. So now what is the sigma x? So sigma x, this is our all x. So add all this to get your sigma x. So this will be your sigma x value and this will be your sigma y value. So numerator you have all the things of the numerator, and you have sigma xy, you have sigma x, you have, and sigma y you have. Now comes to the denominator. Denominator, the first term we require is sigma x square. So for that you want to have calculation for x square. So calculate x square, which will be equal to this into this. So that becomes your sigma x square. Sorry, only x square. So we'll calculate all the x squares. So this becomes the x square values. Now summation of x square will be like this. So this becomes your summation of x square. Clear? Then you want n in the denominator, it is under root of n sigma x square. So that you have already calculated minus sigma x ka whole square. So sigma x you have already calculated as 403. So sigma x whole square. Then you want the next is under root of sigma y square, n sigma y square. So for that you want y square. So calculate the y square from the data, which will be equal to this multiply by this. So this becomes your y square, and then these are all y squares. Then summation of y square will be comes out to be 91686. Now you have everything in the formula. You put in the formula and calculate the answer. So r. So r is equal to, the formula is, you'll take the brackets. So r is equal to n sigma xy. So n is 10 into summation xy. So summation xy is 38142. So n sigma xy. So that becomes n into 38142 minus of sigma x into sigma y. So sigma x is this, and
403.
sigma x. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts?
No, sir.
So this becomes your summation n. N is C22. So n into summation xy minus summation x into summation y. So B17 into summation y is your this set. So this becomes your numerator. So this is your numerator, then divided by under root of. So you have to do the under root of. So under root of, we will do the power as the function. So then you have to divide it by n summation x square. So this is your n, then into right here multiply. So it becomes n into summation x square. So summation x square is this one. So this becomes n into summation x square minus of summation x whole square. So summation x is this. So raised to the power square. So this becomes like n summation x square. So summation x square is this. So summation x square is this value f17 minus summation x whole square. Fine. And raised to the power. And for this, it is the raised to the power 1 by 2. So this raised to the power 0.5. Clear? Then multiply by. So another bracket will start, which is n summation y square now. So n is again this. So n into summation y square. So this is your summation y square minus of summation y ka whole square. So that becomes this raised to the power 2. Fine. And for this again raised to the power 1 by 2 means 0.5. There is some problem in the formula. N summation xy minus summation x into summation y whole divided by n summation x square minus summation x का whole square he will solve separate, numerator separate or the denominator separate. That we can do because it is a longer formula. Then so numerator becomes n summation xy, so which will be equal to n into summation xy minus of summation x into summation y. So that becomes your numerator. So this is the numerator. Now for denominator it is n summation x square. So which will be equal to n summation x square. So n is 10 into summation x square. So n summation x square minus of summation x whole square. So minus summation x whole square. So that becomes your first part and the under root of the same. So that becomes s to the power 0.5. So this is your first part of the denominator, and then the second part is, so we have break the formula. So to calculate, because in one formula it will be difficult to have the formula application in Excel. So then you have n summation y square. So which will be 10 which will be equal to n summation y square. So n summation y square minus of summation y ka whole square. So minus of this raised to the power 2, and for the complete raised to the power, so n summation y square minus summation y whole square raised to the power again 0.5. So this becomes your the another part. So now the net denominator is this into this. So your r becomes numerator divided by denominator. So r is equal to this divided by this. So the r comes out to be minus 0.178. So this becomes your Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation, which says that r is equal to minus 1.178. So that means the two data is negatively correlated, but very weak negative correlation. So like there is a negative relation. If we increase the expenditure on advertising, the sales will get decreased. So that is the interpretation of this particular data. So let's suppose we'll change this data. So these are all values in the increasing, 30, 32, 35, 36, all are increasing. So let's suppose we'll take this also in the increasing order. So like 90, 92, 96, 98, 99, 105, 106, 110, 10, 11, 112, 116, 118, and 119. So I have declared the plus also. So if all these values are in the increasing order and expenditure is also in the increasing order, so our coefficient of correlation becomes 0.994. So that shows that it is a positive correlation, as the data logically also says if all the values of the sales are in increasing, expenditure is also increasing. So that's why it is a case of your positive correlation and a high positive correlation, 0.99. So that 0.99 shows the positive correlation or a very strong positive correlation. Now if we'll take the reverse, like all the values are in the decreasing order. So 120, 118, 117, fine, then 115, 105, maybe 104, 103, 100, 99, 98, 96. So after, so here it is like reverse direction. If you are increasing the values of sales, your expenditure will be decreasing. So reverse direction. So it must be a high negative correlation. So that's why it shows a high negative correlation of minus 0.97. Fine. So that is, now this is known as a correlation model in Excel. So what we have created, this is the correlation model in Excel. Now we have to only change the data, the model itself we have, because we have made the model like, so we have all the values by reference. So only we have to change the data accordingly, it will calculate me the coefficient of correlation. Because I have applied the formula for coefficient of correlation in such a way that if I have to change the data, it will give me the coefficient of correlation between the two variables. So the data itself, now you can check for any value, whatever we can change the value of this, automatically we get our coefficient of correlation. Fine. So that is known as your Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. Any doubt in this? So you have to remember the formula like R is equal to n summation xy minus summation x summation y whole divided by under root of n summation x square minus summation x ka whole square and into under root of n summation y square minus summation y whole square. Fine. Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Fine enough. Now
No, sir.
the next. Yes, yes. Hello. Hello. Any doubts?
No,
Any
sir.
doubts? Okay. So the next is, now if we have done all the calculations through Excel, but if we have to do our calculations in the you can say the manual mode. Now suppose this will be the data. So let's take the another example. In spite of this figures, maybe the figures are big. Again, the difficult calculations are there maybe. So like 3,500. Then you have 3,700, 3,900, 41, 4,100, 4,300, 4,500, 4,700, 4,900, 5,100 and 5,300. Suppose this will be the data on the sales and expenditure is like 650, 655, 660, 665, 670, 675, 680, 685, 690 and 695. So this will be the data now. Now doing the calculation manually. So calculate, the first step is you have to calculate XY. We have first step is to calculate the values of XY. So it will be very difficult to calculate the value of XY manually. In Excel, we can simply multiply these cells, but we don't have available with the Excel in our examination. So we have to do the manually calculations of 3,500 into 650. So which is a problem to me to solve this thing manual. So again, we can use here the assumed mean method. So first we'll calculate the dx. So dx is as the same case as we have discussed in the mean or the ST. So the dx can be the minimum value plus maximum value divided by 2. So which will be equal to, minimum is 3,500 plus 5,300 and then divided by 2. So this comes out to be 4,400. So we will take either 43 or 45 as our assumed mean. So let's take 4,300 as the assumed mean. So dx becomes, so your dx value becomes x minus a. So which is 3,500 minus 4,300, which is minus 800, then minus 600. Next is minus 400, then minus 200, 0, 200, 300, sorry, 400, 600. Then you have 51 minus 43, your 800, and the last one is 1000. So this becomes your dx. In the same way, you can calculate dy. So dy, for the central value of the dy, it is 650 plus 695 divided by 2. So which will be equal to 650. So which will be equal to 650 plus 695 divided by 2. So 672.5. So you can take 670 or 675. So we will take 670, that is up to you. So we will take 670. So dy value becomes this. Dy becomes y minus a. So which will be equal to 650 minus 670 minus 20. So this becomes minus 20, then minus 15. Then you have minus 10, you have -5, then 0, 5, 10, 15, then 20, and then 25. So this becomes your dx and dy. Now forget about this x and y. You have to do the complete question on dx and dy. You have to do all these calculations on dx and dy. So this is the model we have made. So let's first check out with the original data. So we'll put this data into the original over here. So we have put that data into the original. So our coefficient of correlation becomes like exactly equal to 1. So it is a perfect positive correlation. So perfect positive correlation, as the data itself says, all the values of sales are increasing and all the values of expenditure are also increasing. So that's why it is a perfect case of a positive correlation. So answer comes out to be +1. Now if I replace that with this dx dy, the answer must be again the same +1. So let's check it. So this dx dy to be replaced in this data xy now. So again the answer comes out to be +1. So again the answer comes out to be +1. So that is the, you can say you are reduced with our calculation. So अब calculations अगर हम देखें, ये हमने खुद करनी है calculation, Excel मुझे करके दे रहा है, but otherwise it will be very easy to do now the calculation. 800 into -20, 16,000, 600 into -15, it is 9,000, and so on. So we can easily do the calculations now the manually. But otherwise, if it is done through original, it will be very difficult. So for example, if it is an initial case, so now it is very difficult to do these bigger calculations. We have to do the 3500 into 650. You have to need a calculations to calculate 2275000. But if it is the another way around, so if it is this case, then you can easily calculate. Yeah.
सर जैसे dx -800 -600 ऐसे आ रहा है, means we have to assume it as x and after that जो dy आ रहा है उसको y assume करके xy फिर x square और y square instant बनेगा.
हाँ, मतलब the thing is, don't assume this as x. This is your dx.
Okay.
Now change
Okay,
the formula where the x is the formula. You replace that x with dx.
Okay sir. Okay sir.
तो जो हमने ये formula किया है, one second. So we have done this formula. So we have done this formula. So here
Yes,
you
sir.
will replace. Here you will replace x with dx and y with dy. So your formula becomes n summation dx dy minus summation dx summation dy whole divided by n summation dx square minus summation dx का whole square and into under root of n summation dy square minus sigma dy whole square.
सर तो इसमें a का कोई रोल नहीं आएगा जो assume नहीं होएगा, उससे multiply या
इसमें
divide
भी
तो नहीं कुछ करना
in
पड़ेगा.
the same way जैसे हमने standard deviation में किया था, we have not to add back that a, because यहाँ पे भी क्या है, दोनों में involved है ना, यहाँ पे भी एक्स वाई में भी इन्वॉल्व है, इधर भी एक्स वाई में इन्वॉल्व है, तो ये प्लस है, ये माइनस है. सो दैट प्लस ए एंड माइनस ए गेट्स कैंसिल्ड. सिमिलरली यहाँ पे भी यहाँ का प्लस है, ये माइनस ए कैंसिल हो जाएगा, और ये प्लस है, यहाँ का माइनस ए कैंसिल हो जाएगा. सो वी डोंट हैव टू सब एड बैक द ए इनटू द आंसर. सो ऑटोमेटिकली वो कंज्यूम कवर अप हो जाएगा. सो वी अगेन नो नीड टू ऐड द ए इन द आंसर. फाइन. So now next is you can further reduce to your, if you want to reduce your further calculations, you can use step deviation methods. So this is assumed mean. Now you can use the step deviation also, dy dash. So we can take minus, you can take 200 common from this. So dx dash you can create by dividing dx with 200. So that minus 800 will change into -4 only. -4, -3, -2, -1. And from this you can take 5 as the common, so that is also reduced. But the problem is again in the last, if you have divided this with I, you have to multiply with the I से multiply करना पड़ेगा, but यहाँ पे क्या है, the problem is we have two variables involved, x and y, so you have to divide, you have to multiply it with I. So वहाँ confusion आ जाएगी that if you have to multiply ix by iy or iy by ix. So to avoid that confusion, we are not doing the question with step deviation method for correlation or regression. So we are maximum doing it with assumed mean method. We are not applying the you can say step deviation method in case of correlation because there will be two variables involved. अब दो वेरिएबल में ix by iy करना है या iy by ix करना है, तो वहां पे प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट हो जाएगी. Fine. So in that way we are not using the step deviation method in case of correlation. So we are only doing it with maximum by assumed mean. Fine. Any doubt in this? Doubt है? इसमें कोई डाउट?
नहीं सर.
करें आगे? Okay. So your next is, so this is your Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation for this scaled data. So here the application is for this scaled data, and interpretation I will tell you that if it is minus toward minus, it means they have the negative correlation, mean one is increasing, other is decreasing. Higher the value means the value close to minus 1 show that it has a highly negative correlation, and if it is close to plus 1, the values is having more positive correlation. So if now we can compare, so if suppose one data is showing the correlation of 0.3, another data is showing the correlation of 0.5, so we can easily interpret it that if that data which is having a correlation of 0.5 has having the more positive correlation than of 0.3. So we can, so an interpretation is objective. For me it is also 0.5 coming, and for you it is also 0.5. And the coefficient of correlation always lies between -1 to 1. And in any case, if the value comes out to be greater than 1 or less than -1, you see that there will be some error in your calculations, so that's why it comes as like this. But correct answer of correlation coefficient always lies between -1 to +1. It cannot be greater than 1, it cannot be less than -1. Fine, any doubts up to now? No. So the next is your regression. So regression coefficient. So regression coefficient, now the regression coefficient says it will also tell the cause and effect relation. In correlation, it does not talk of the cause and effect, that which is the cause and which is the effect. But in regression, we will also tell that for which variable the effect is what. So for example, in our above cases, sales and expenditure. So what should be my cause and what should be my effect? It will be like if the company increase the expenditure on advertising, the company wants to analyze the effect of advertising expenditure on the sales. That if the company wants to analyze that if I make more advertising, like if I make more hoardings of my product, more advertising, more TV expenditure, more expenditure on the TV advertisements. So then if there will be more visibility to my product to the customers, and there will be more sales. So the company wants to analyze that if there will be effect of increasing expenditure on advertising to the sales. So that means expenditure is my cause variable and my effect is my sales variable. So there is always in the regression the dependent and independent variable. So your dependent variable is the one that is effect, and your independent variable is the one which is the cause. So here we want to, in regression coefficient, we want to analyze that if sales is because of expenditure or expenditure is because of sales. Fine. So if sales is because of expenditure, like this is if there will be more sales. So it can be like that also. If there are more sales, means there will be more sales, so the expenditure will be also on the higher side, because to cope up with the higher sales we have to employ more individuals, we have to employ more distribution channels, so automatically the expenditure will also increase. So we can have to find both ways, either the expenditure is my cause or my sales is my cause. So there will be two regression lines. One is the effect of sales on expenditure and the other one is the effect of expenditure on sales. So there will be two regression lines. One is BXY and the other one is BYX. So BXY says regression coefficient is always represented by small b. As coefficient of correlation is represented by small r, the coefficient of regression is represented by small b. So BXY denotes that it is a regression coefficient of x on y. So x on y means x is dependent on y, means the cause is your x and y is your effect. Sorry, x is dependent on y. So x is your dependent variable and y is your independent variable. So that means, so if we want to calculate the effect of expenditure on sales, so this regression line becomes B sales on expenditure. So how the expenditure is affected on the sales. So my sales becomes your dependent variable and expenditure becomes your, so sales is dependent on expenditure. So sales is my dependent variable and expenditure is my independent variable. Similarly, if we want to find how the expenditure is dependent on sales, then we have to calculate B expenditure on sales. So there will be two different lines. So there will be two different coefficients BXY and BYX. But in case of R, RXY or RYX is one and the same thing. So either you can calculate RXY or you can calculate RYX. They both are talking of the same because they're only talking of the relation between the two variables. But because there is no cause and effect. But in case of regression, there is cause and effect also, and BXY shows the effect of y on x and BYX shows the effect of x on y. Fine. So y on x. So how the y is dependent on x. So the reading of the same equation is how the y is dependent on x. So that becomes your BYX. So here comes the under the concept of regression, there comes the regression lines or the regression equations. So regression equations will be like dependent variable. If we want to take the case of this, now we will take the case of this. So regression line for BYX. If we want to calculate the regression line of BYX, so this will be equal to y is equal to, so it is a linear equation with y is equal to a plus BYX x. So that becomes your regression equation. So it is a linear equation where y is equal to a plus BYX x. Fine. So if we want to make a graph, let's try to make the graph. This is the value x and this is the value y. Suppose if x is 0, y is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is suppose 6. Suppose plot a graph. Where is this scatter diagram for this? This one is the scatter. Yeah. So this becomes the graph for this scatter diagram. The scatter diagram shows that one variable is on the x-axis, one variable is on the x-axis and another one is on the y-axis. So this becomes your y 0 to 4. So this is your y and this is your x. So x-axis shows your this axis and y-axis is this, and it has plotted the graph on this in that way. So now we have, as we have plotted it, so we'll make the so we have joined the lines also. So this becomes my scatter diagram. So now this is the regression equation. So this particular line is known as your regression equation of y on x. Fine. Where this a, now what is this a? A is known as the intercept. This a is known as the intercept, which means that there will be a value of y if x is 0 also. So for example, if we take this example only, so we have taken the case of expenditure on sales, how the expenditure is dependent on sales. So if there will be no sales, then also there will be some expenditure. So if I consider that there will be no sale of the product in the market, so then also there will be some expenditure also. It is not like that all expenditure is because of the sales. If sales is 0, I have sold nothing, but still I have to employ a individual, a helper to my organization. So the salary of that particular helper, I have to pay it whether I have sold a product or not. मैं एक भी प्रोडक्ट मैंने मार्केट में नहीं बेचा, बट तब भी मुझे एक हेल्पर तो रखना ही पड़ेगा ना शॉप के लिए. सो द सैलरी ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर शॉप helper, that will be your a. If x is 0 also, if this x is 0, then also I have to have some expenditure. So that is the expenditure on sales. So my sales is 0, but then also I have some expenditure. So this becomes 0, so y is equal to a. So this intercept, so intercept becomes from this level, from 0 to this 5. So this 5 value is known as your intercept. And then the slope of this line will determine how the effect of one variable is to the another. And the slope of this regression line will determine that what will be the effect of the one. If there will be higher the slope, if there will be more slope, then means if there will be a 1 unit change in the independent variable, there may be 5 units change in my dependent. Fine. So there will be 5 units change in my dependent variable. So let's suppose take the another example of y2, the same graph. So here it is suppose 5 only, and then there will be drastic change. So it will be like 2, then 8, 2, 8, 15, 25, and then 35. Now we have to plot suppose this as a scatter diagram. Now you have to plot this data into the scatter diagram. So if you plot this, so that becomes, this is the regression line of the second. Now if we calculate the slope of this line for 1 unit change, so like for 4 and 3 you will take a change. So 4 minus 3 for blue line, it is like 4 slope can be calculated by the y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So for blue line, it comes out to be 412. The point is 12. So 12 minus 10. So 12 minus 10, 2 divided by 1, so slope is 2. But for this particular line, the slope becomes 25 minus 15. So 10 divided by 1. So in the first case, the slope is only 2, but in the later case, orange one, the slope is 10 because it is 25 minus 15. Fine. So that becomes, so higher the slope means there will be, with the 1 unit change in the x, the y will be changed by 10 units. But in this particular case, the y, if x is changed by 1 unit, the y will be changed by 2 units only. So that shows the effect of the one variable to the other, that in one particular case, if we increase the expenditure, the sales will be increased by maybe 10 units. But in another case, if we increase the expenditure, the sales may be increased by a lesser point. So the blue line shows the lower positive correlation, but the orange line shows the higher positive regression. So that is the symbolization of your regression equations. Hope you are clear with this point, the interpretation of these regression lines. Fine enough. Now we have to, the same way as we have calculated the correlation coefficient, we have to calculate the regression coefficient now. So for regression coefficients, we have the two formulas or two methods. The first is the least square method and the second one is the formula method. So we have two methods to find this regression coefficients. The one is your least square method and the another one is your formula method. And the first thing you have to identify in regression, that what is asked. If it is asked that y on x or x on y, so that you have to take care of, that reading the question, if it is demanded x on y or if he is demanding y on x. So that is depend upon the question, what is asked in the question, whether he want to ask that what is the effect of sales on expenditure or what will be the effect of expenditure on sales, or if we have asked both. So maybe he has asked for one, maybe he's asked for both the things, that what is the effect of sales on expenditure or a vice versa expenditure on sales. So if it is like both is asked, then there are two separate questions. So first you have to solve for x on y, then you have to solve for y on x. Fine. So let's take the same example, that is of correlation, then we can calculate the regression coefficients. I have deleted that, I have overwrite that data. So let's suppose again we do take the data. So we will take the data again. So let's suppose sales and expenditure. We again have a two variables, sales and expenditure, that may be 30, 35, 36, 39, 41, 45, 46. Suppose this will be your sales 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I will take one more, 65. So this is suppose maybe your sales data, and expenditure is 32, 31, 36, 34, 38 and 35. So this will be your expenditure data. Now you want to analyze that what is the effect of expenditure on sales. So let's suppose this will be your x variable and this will be your y variable. Now you want to analyze that what is the effect of expenditure on sales. So expenditure on sales means you have to find x on y or y on x. The question is we want to analyze what is the effect of expenditure on sales. So you want to find the expenditure on sales. So expenditure on sales means which is my dependent and which is my independent variable?
Expenditure is independent. Sales is dependent.
How? Why? I am saying that I want to analyze the effect of expenditure on sales. Sales पे effect देखना है expenditure
Sale
का.
dependent.
So my sale is my
Sale
dependent
dependent.
variable
Expenditure independent.
and expenditure is my independent variable. So I have to find out the regression line of x on y. I want to find the effect of expenditure on sale. So that means I have to see the effect of expenditure on sales. So x on y I want to find. Sales on expenditure. How the sales is dependent on expenditure. Fine. So how my sales is dependent on expenditure. So that's why I want to find the x on y. Fine enough. So I want to find the effect of expenditure on sales, or in the other words, I want to find the effect on sales for expenditure. So that's why we want to find the x on y. So there will be two methods to have this x on y. That is the method of least squares. Method of least squares, and the second one is formula. First we'll do the method of least squares. So as I have told already, the general line of x on y. So first we'll start with the least square method. Least square method says the general form of the x on y line is, I've already told you the general regression line. So I have told you the general regression line of y on x. So which is equal to y is equal to a plus byx x. Now what is the general line of x on y? So in the same line x on y, the line is x is equal to a plus bxy y. So x is equal to a plus bxy y. Clear? So x on y becomes, so this is your method of least square we are dealing it with. So the least square method is the general regression line is x is equal to a plus bxy y for x on y. If we are talking of y on x, so parallelly we can take the case of y on x also. So if we want to calculate for y on x, so the general regression line can be your y is equal to a plus b yx x. So this becomes the general line of y on x. So now this will be the regression line and we want to find the values for a and this bxy. हमने a और bxy की वैल्यू निकालनी है. So ultimately we want to find the value of this a and ultimately we want to find the value of this a and bxy. So for that, this is a linear equation, and to solve a particular linear equation, the condition is a linear equation in two variables. So to solve the particular linear equation in two variables, we require at least two equations to solve that. So from that we require the two equations. So linear equation, least square method says that we want two equations from this regression line. So the first equation can be formed by multiplying sigma on both sides. Multiplying sigma means summation. So multiplying sigma on both sides. Otherwise it will be wrong to say this statement because sigma is an operation, not a number. So individual sigma does not have any meaning, but only to remember the case it will be like this. So multiplying sigma on both sides of equation 1. So let it be equation 1. So this is suppose equation 1. Fine. So after multiplying sigma on both sides, so this equation becomes summation x equation becomes summation x is equal to summation a. Summation a means a plus a plus a plus a, or which can be written as n into a, and plus of summation plus of bxy summation y. So this becomes your second equation. So multiplying sigma on both sides of the equation 1, it becomes sigma x is equal to na plus bxy summation y. So this becomes your second equation. Now you want one more equation to solve the linear equations. So the second equation can be formed by multiplying sigma y on both sides. Multiplying sigma y on both sides of equation 1 again. So after multiplying with summation this, so it becomes summation xy so this becomes summation xy. You multiply summation y with this equation 1. So this becomes summation xy is equal to a summation y plus b xy summation y square. Clear? So this becomes your equation 3. Now you have equation 2 and equation 3. We can put the values from the data. We'll get the two equations. Then we can solve those two equations to find the values of a and b xy. So that is your least square method. So let's put the data values from the data. So first is you have to calculate sigma x. So sigma x is, so this is your x data. So summation of this becomes your, so summation of x, this becomes summation of your y. So first thing you want in the equation is summation x. So summation x becomes, so what will be the value of summation x? It is 458. So the first equation becomes 458 is equal to na. N is 10 in our case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So which becomes 10a plus 10a plus bxy into summation y. So summation y is 368. This becomes your second equation. So 458 is equal to 10a plus bxy into 368. Now the another thing in third equation, you want sigma xy. So first calculate xy from the data. So you have to calculate xy. So xy means the multiplication of x and y. So which will be equal to this multiply by this. So this becomes your xy. Now you want summation of xy. So summation of xy is so 17074. So when we are putting in the equation, so summation xy, so that becomes 17074 is equal to summation y into a. So summation y is 368. So 368y, sorry, 368a plus now summation y square into bxy. So you have to first calculate the summation y square. So y square is y square. So y square means is equal to this into this. So this becomes y square. So you have to put the calculation from the data and then you have to solve it. Now the summation of y square comes out to be 13702. So put in the formula. So you want summation y square, which is 13702. So equation becomes 13702 bxy. Fine enough. So you will have two equations and two variables. One is a and one is bxy. So you have to calculate the simultaneous linear equations. So you can solve this. So how you can solve this? We have to simultaneous linear equation says we first have to eliminate one variable. Whatever it is, seem more easier to eliminate it. So here we can eliminate a. So this equation can be multiplied by both sides with 368 and this equation can be multiplied by both sides by 10. So that it becomes 3680 the both. Fine. So after multiplication 458 into 368. So 458 into 368. So the equation becomes 168544 is equal to 3680 a plus bxy into 368 into 368. So is equal to 368 into 368. So that comes out to be plus bxy 135424. So this becomes the one equation. Another is by multiplying with 10. So this becomes 170740 is equal to 3680 a plus bxy 137020. So this becomes your second equation. Now elimination means subtracting. So after subtracting, this gets eliminated. So your net answer becomes 16844 minus 1700. So which will be equal to 1668544 minus of 170740. So minus 2196. So which will be equal to minus 2196 is equal to, so this gets cancelled and now so now the next is equal to this minus this. So 135424 minus of 137020. So your net equation becomes minus 2196 is equal to minus 1596 bxy. So this will turn to a formula, but otherwise in the Excel it will be taking the formula because of this equal to. Then this minus and minus sign gets cancelled. So bxy is equal to 2196 divided by 1596. So your value of bxy stands as, so bxy value क्या आ जाएगी? bxy की वैल्यू बताओ क्या आएगी? 2196 divided by 1596. It comes out to be 1.375. So that value comes out to be greater than 1, and it is possible for regression coefficient to take the value greater than 1. Correlation coefficient cannot take the value greater than 1, but regression can take the value greater than 1. So bxy value comes out to be 1.37594. Now the next is you put this value of bxy in any of the equation. So let's suppose in this equation you will put this. So this becomes, so you can get the value of a. So for that it becomes 458 is equal to 10 into a plus bxy value as you have calculated as 1.3795594. 594 into 368. So this becomes the equation. So after solving this, so this becomes 368 into, so 368 into 1.37594. So 506 and minus, so it becomes 458 minus this. So 458, so is equal to 458 minus of 506 and divided by 10. So the a value comes out to be minus 4.8. So a value is equal to minus of 4.834. So this will be your a. So bxy value is this, a is this. So your regression line becomes x is equal to a. A is minus 4.834 and plus of bxy. So bxy value comes out to be 1.37594. That is your bxy into y. So this becomes your regression line of x on y. So this particular line shows the relation of how the sales is dependent on expenditure. So this will be your least square method. So this is your least square method, you can see. So in this we can do like, first is the general equation of x on y. Now we want two equations for that to solve these two variables a and bxy. So for that the first equation can be found by multiplying sigma on both sides. So this equation becomes sigma x is equal to na plus bxy sigma y. So this becomes one equation. Another equation can be formed by multiplying sigma y on both sides. So this becomes summation xy is equal to a summation y plus b xy summation y square. Now the thing is we have to calculate from the data what is the value of sigma x. So we will add all these sigma x values. So we'll add all these sigma x values to get 458. We'll add all sigma y values, get sigma y as 368. So we will put this in formula. So 458 is equal to 10a plus bxy 368. In the same way, now we want sigma xy. So first we multiply xy. Addition of xy will give the summation of xy is equal to a summation y we have already calculated as 368. 0 and plus summation y square. So for that we'll calculate y square and then the summation of y square to calculate 132702. Now we get the two equations. Elimination method will apply, and after applying the elimination method we will take the value of bxy and put it in any of the equation to get the value of a, and we will become with the linear regression equation of x on y as this. So this equation will tell me what is the cause and effect. So it shows that intercept is minus 4.834 and the slope of the line is 1.37594. So the regression coefficient will be like 1.37594. Bxy. Now if we want to calculate Byx also. So parallelly if we want to calculate the Byx also. So this is your general regression line. This is your general regression line. So now you again multiplying sigma on both sides. So the first equation can be found by multiplying sigma on both sides. So this equation becomes, now this equation becomes summation y is equal to na plus byx summation x square. Summation x. So first equation can be found by multiplying sigma on both sides. So sigma y is equal to na plus byx sigma x. Now the second equation can be found by multiplying. There we have multiplied by sigma y on both sides. Here we multiply by sigma x on both sides. So here we multiplying sigma x on both sides. So the net equation becomes summation xy is equal to a summation x plus b by x summation x square. So this becomes the two equations now. Now you have to put the sigma y. So what will be the sigma y, which will be equal to 368 is equal to n is again 10a plus summation x. So summation x is 458 byx. So this is your first equation. And the second equation is sigma xy. We have already calculated as 17074. So 17074 is equal to So 17074 is equal to a sigma x. So sigma x is 458. So 458a plus of, now you want summation x square. So first you have to calculate the x square from the data. So we have not calculated x square. So x square is, if you calculate x square, so x square becomes this multiplied by this. So this is your x square. Now summation of this x square is 22190. So that becomes 458 plus 22190. So this becomes your second equation. Now you have to make it same the same way. You multiply this equation with 458 and this equation with 10. Fine. So after multiplying 368 with 498, so 458 and 368, it comes out to be like 168544. This becomes 44580A plus 458 into 458. So 458 into 458 is, so it becomes 209764 B by X. So this becomes your first equation. This becomes your first equation. Now the second is multiplying with 10. So this becomes 170740 is equal to 4580A plus summation x square value is 22190 22190 into 10, so that becomes 221900 byx. So subtracting the equation, so this becomes, so calculate the value of byx, so which will be equal to 168544 minus of 170740, so 2196, और ये वैल्यू आ जाएगी byx की this minus this, so which will be equal to 209764 minus of 221900. So this is the value of this. So now the byx, so value of byx becomes this, so which will be equal to this divided by this, so 0.180949. So that value comes out to be for byx. Putting in any of the equation will get the value of a, and you will get the general line of y on x. So in that way we can apply the least square method to find the regression line of either x on y or y on x. Fine enough? Clear? Any doubt on this? Least square method, it is clear to you? Least square method clear है?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is your least square. Now we have to do the same question with formula method. So the formula method will also give the same results, but the method is different. So let's do the same question with the formula. You can check the answer is the same. So this is the data now. So we will take the same data and we'll check for the so suppose this will be the data sales x and expenditure y. Now we have to do with the formula method. So you have remembered the formula for correlation. It is the same formula but with the slight differences. So in the case of regression, your numerator, so if we want to calculate, suppose bxy, suppose you want to find the value of bxy, so bxy is equal to, your numerator will remain the same, like n summation xy so n summation xy minus summation x and summation y. So that is also in the numerator part. Numerator correlation का भी यही था, or I will do in the word file only. 1 second, I will edit that word file only to show you the formula. So this is the formula for R. So this is the formula of R we have already discussed. Now for the value of bxy. Suppose we want to find the value of bxy. So bxy, the formula is, so this remains the same. So the numerator will remain the same. There will be no difference in the numerator. The only difference comes in the denominator. So here are two terms, one is of x and one is of y. So if it is bxy, there will be only y term. There will be no x terms in this. So it will be only y term, and that is 2 without under root. So that becomes the formula for regression coefficient bxy. which says n summation x y minus summation x summation y whole divided by n summation y square minus summation y ka whole square. So that is the formula for bxy, and if you want to find byx, so what is the formula for byx? So suppose we want to find the value of byx, then byx is, so suppose we want to find the value of byx. So numerator will again remain the same, n summation xy minus summation x summation y whole divided by, now only x terms will be there. So it will be n summation x square minus summation x whole square without under root. So there will be no under root in this. So that becomes the regression coefficient of b by x. So that is your formula method. So now I'll check with the formula method if the same answer comes or not. Fine. So we'll come with this formula method now. So the bxy, the first thing is we have to calculate n summation xy minus summation x summation y. So for that you calculate xy. So you have to calculate xy, so which will be equal to this multiply by this. So x into y, so this becomes your xy and the summation of the same. And so after summation of the same, you will come up with 17074. So this is summation xy. Now in the formula it says n into xy. So is equal to, again we have to calculate separately. So numerator becomes, so n is here n is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So n is again 10. So the numerator becomes equal to n into summation xy. First we have to calculate the summation of x and y also. So first calculate the summation of x and then summation of y. So now you'll apply for the numerator. So numerator is equal to n into summation xy minus of summation x into summation y. So 2196 comes out to be numerator. Then comes for the denominator part. So denominator says, so denominator, the formula is n summation. We want to calculate for first bxy. So there will be only y term in it. So that is n summation y square. So for that you have to calculate y square. So first you have to calculate y square. So y square is equal to this y multiply by again this y. So this becomes your y square, and summation of y square results into 13702. So now the denominator part comes as to be like is equal to n into summation y square so n into summation y square minus of summation y raised to the power 2. That comes out to be 1596, and your bxy. So what is the value of bxy? Numerator divided by denominator, so which will be equal to 2196 divided by 1596. So 1.3759. It is the same value which is come by the, so this and this value match. So if it match with this, so coefficient of y in this, so 1.37594, 1.37594. So that will be the same value coming by formula and with the regression formula or by the least square method. Clear? So either you can do it with the least square or you can remember the formula and then you can do it. Now the next is you want to find the value of this a. So you want to find the value of a also. So for that, what you have to do, you have to replace in the general line. The general line is x is equal to a plus b x by y. So here if we want to find the value of a, you will replace this a and the equation will be replaced by x minus x bar mean is equal to b xy y minus y bar y mean. So that becomes your general regression line. So now x minus x bar. So for x bar you have to calculate the mean. So x bar value comes out to be, what is x mean? Total of x divided by 45.8. So this equation becomes x minus 45.8. So x minus 45.8 is equal to bxy you have already calculated, that is 1.37594. xy into y minus y bar. So y bar is 36.8. Fine. So calculate this. So which becomes x minus 45.8 is equal to 1.37594 y minus of, यहाँ पे you have to multiply is equal to 36.8 into 1.37594. So you have to open the bracket. So this, after opening of this bracket, it comes out to be 50.635. Fine. And you will get the value of x is equal to 1.37594 y and minus this plus 45.8. So that becomes, so which will be equal to 50 minus 45.8. So which comes out to be, and sign is a minus sign, so that comes out to be minus of 4.834. Fine. So the constant is your a and the coefficient of y is your bxy. So if we compare the regression line, if it is same, minus 0.4834 minus 0.4834 plus 1.37594 plus 1.37594. So the result will be the same if you will do it either with the least square or with the formula. Clear? Clear? Now in the same way, if you want to calculate for byx with the formula, so if we want to calculate byx, so this have calculated bxy. So in the same way, if we want to calculate byx, then the formula is numerator will remain the same, numerator is the same, but now for denominator it will be only x term is there in the denominator. So for that you want x square. So calculate x square. So x square is equal to this multiply by this. This is your x square and the summation of x square. So 22190. So this is your, so now the denominator becomes is equal to n into summation x square, n into summation x square minus of summation x का square. So minus this raised to the power n, the formula is n summation x square minus summation x whole square. So raised to the power 2. So that is 12136. So now your byx is, so byx value क्या आ जाएगी, which will be equal to 2196 divided by 12136. So 0.180949. So that is the same value. Same value we have already calculated, 0.180949. So here also it comes out to be 0.180949. Now this line is y on x, so y minus y bar is equal to byx x minus x bar. So you'll get all the values put in the formula y minus y bar. Y bar is 36.8 is equal to 0.180949 x minus x bar is 45.8. You will solve this equation and you will get the same value as the regression line. So you are matched with the regression line. So in the last I have not calculated the regression line over here. So in the same way you can calculate the regression line here also. In terms of x. So here you have to calculate the value of y in terms of x. Fine enough. So that is your regression coefficients through formula. That is the regression coefficient, and which tells me the interpretation of the same is like, if suppose I want to interpret this regression line. So if we want to interpret this regression line, so this shows that how the x is dependent on y. So this says that if y is 0, then there is also an expenditure on sales of minus 4.834. So x is my expenditure, x is my sales. So if expenditure is 0 also, then there is a negative sales of minus 4.834. And it is dependent on the expenditure with this slope, as if we increase the expenditure with 1 unit, my sales will be increased by 1.37594. So that will show the relation between the sales, how the sales is dependent on my expenditure. Fine. So that is your regression coefficient. And regression coefficient can also be used for forecasting. अब forecasting कैसे कर सकते हैं हम? मैंने एक regression line निकाल ली. अब मुझे अगर कोई ये कहे कि after 10 days the cost is, expenditure is 50,000. So I can simply put the value of y as 50,000 in this regression line and calculate the value of sales. So that regression line can be used as a forecasting tool also to predict the future values. So I can predict the future value of the sales by putting the value of expenditure of any future value in this equation, and then can find out the value of sales for that. So that is your forecasting tool also.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, please repeat this interpretation of this line.
Interpretation is like this: if we have represented x is equal to minus 0.4834 plus this, so this is the regression line how the x is dependent on y. So that means if sales is dependent in through expenditure in this way, which says if expenditure is 0, if y is 0, then also there is some sales which is minus 0.4.834. And this slope Byx signifies that this Byx shows that if this expenditure is increased by 1 unit or decreased by 1 unit, my sales will be increased or decreased by 1.37594 units.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
So that
Thank you
is
so
the
much.
interpretation of the regression equation, that how the one variable is related to the other. Fine. So that is the two methods of the regression equation, the least square and the formula method. Now the characteristics of the regression. So you can write in that like the characteristics of regression. Characteristics of correlation is the correlation value cannot be less than -1 and cannot be greater than +1. But the characteristics of regression is the regression individual coefficient can be greater than 1 or can be less than -1. But the thing is, if 1 is greater than 1, the other should be less than 1. So for example, because if we want to calculate the R, so R is equal to Byx into Bxy. R, if we want to calculate the R, सपोज अब इस डेटा का जो इस पिछला क्वेश्चन है हमने इसका कोरिलेशन भी निकालना है. तो हमने कोरिलेशन कितना निकाला था इस डेटा का? So with the same data we have calculated the Karl-Pearson's coefficient as, we have changed the data na. Here we have changed the data, but if we want to calculate the correlation coefficient of the same from the regression, so it is not like we have to apply the correlation formula again. So simply we have already calculated Byx and Bxy. We multiply the both and we will under root of the same. So the formula of regression coefficient from regression, so it will be like under root of the same. So the formula becomes R is equal to under root of Byx into Bxy. So from this particular formula, the characteristics of regression will come. So the regression coefficient says, characteristic says, if suppose one regression coefficient is negative, what should be the other? अगर एक regression coefficient negative आता है, तो दूसरा क्या होना चाहिए? बताओ, what should be the second regression coefficient? If suppose first comes out to be negative, what should be the second? Tell me. If for maybe for any reason, if this Byx comes out to be negative, so what should be the coefficient Bxy? It should be negative.
नेगेटिव होना चाहिए ताकि अंडर रूट पॉजिटिव हो जाए.
Under root positive हो जाए, because under root of a negative number is not defined. Under root of a negative number comes under the imaginary part, so it is not defined, so it does not exist. So that's why to make it positive, so if one is negative, the other must also be negative. So the first characteristic of regression coefficient becomes both the coefficient must be of the same sign. Either both are positive or either both are negative. It is not possible that you have calculated the regression coefficients, one comes as positive and one comes as negative. So if it is like that, if one coming is positive and other is negative, so that means you have done some calculation problem in that particular question. So either both are positive or either both are negative. That is the first characteristic. Then second characteristic is after solving this. So when you solve Byx into Bxy and under root of the same, the answer should be lie between -1 to +1. Now when the answer comes minus, because this negative into negative comes as always the positive, and under root of positive is also positive. So when the answer comes positive, so if the both the regression coefficients have the negative sign, then R is a minus. So you get the magnitude from this, and sign is minus sign because both are negative. If both are positive, then R is a positive sign. But if you make the under root of byx into bxy under root, the answer must lie between -1 to +1. The answer must lies between -1 to +1. तो वो कब पॉसिबल है? अगर मेरे बी एक्स वाई की वैल्यू ग्रेटर देन 1 आती है, जैसे इस केस में बी एक्स वाई की वैल्यू कितनी आ रही है? ग्रेटर देन 1. तो अगर बी वाई एक्स की भी ग्रेटर देन 1 आ जाएगी, तो मेरा अंडर रूट करके वैल्यू लेस देन 1 नहीं ना आ सकता. सो कंडीशन क्या है? अगर एक वैल्यू 1 से बड़ी है तो दूसरी वैल्यू 1 से छोटी होगी, ताकि मल्टीप्लीकेशन करके वो आंसर 1 से छोटा आ जाए. So the other characteristic is, if one value is of bxy suppose greater than 1, the value of byx should be less than 1, so that after multiplication of the two things, our answer becomes in the range of -1 to +1. Fine. So that is your regression equations or regression concept. So in regression, we have to have a definition of your what is your dependent and what is your independent variable. Regression cannot be of between two variables. We have to tell the system, if you have applying in SPSS or something, so we have to tell the system that which is my dependent variable and which is my independent variable, in case if I want to find the regression coefficient, so that the system comes to know whether I have to calculate byx or bxy. So we have to tell the system that we want to calculate bxy or byx. So in that case, we have to tell the system that which is my dependent variable and which is my independent variable. And there can be a multiple regression and linear regression. Linear regression is if we want to have the see the effect of one independent on one dependent, then it is a linear regression. But if we want to see the effect of more than one independent variables on one dependent, then it is a case of multiple regression. डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल हमेशा एक होगा, इंडिपेंडेंट एक या एक से ज्यादा हो सकते हैं. अगर इंडिपेंडेंट एक है तो लीनियर रिग्रेशन, एक से ज्यादा है तो मल्टीपल रिग्रेशन. फाइन. सो इसमें अब एक कंसेप्ट और रह गया विच इज बेस्ड ऑन द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ द रिग्रेशन लाइन, which we'll be doing in the next class. So but besides that we have completed the regression also. तो अब एक कंसेप्ट इसका रह गया रिग्रेशन का, एंड प्लस वी हैव लेफ्ट विद द कंटिन्यूअस ग्रुप्ड डेटा कोरिलेशन एंड रिग्रेशन. अभी तक हमने जो कोरिलेशन रिग्रेशन किया है वो डिस्क्रीट डेटा का किया, नॉट ग्रुप्ड डेटा नहीं किया. वी हैव नॉट ग्रुप्ड इट. 30 और 32 की फ्रीक्वेंसी तो नहीं ना कहीं अभी आई. So but now in the next it is also the grouped form, how we can calculate the correlation and regression of the grouped data where we have frequencied also. So that we are discussing in the next class. So by the next class we are completing this correlation and regression fully. So meanwhile by next week you can practice the questions of your correlation and regression so that the concept will be clear. So at least try one or two questions of correlation and regression by least square and by formula method, so that you are clear with the concepts and not. And if remember, and you can mark my words, if you do the practice of these today or at the earliest, you will never forget the concepts in your future. But if you are not practicing the concepts today or maybe that, then you will mix up with all these concepts in future. So try to minimum solve at least one or two questions of today only for this correlations and regression. Okay, so I am stopping the recording.